Hi all, I'm out here in the garden. I was just about to throw some more Epsom salt down for the pest. So I thought I'd give you a quick update on everything I've done that I think is working to help with the pest problem. I'm not seeing too much more damage. I'm out here with my bucket of Epsom salt, and I literally just walk around the garden like it's a person throwing Epsom salt. I've used my neem oil one other time, and I'm probably going to do that again today. And like I said, I'm doing the neem oil, I'm doing the Epsom salt, and then I'm going to show you what I've added on top of that. All right, let's get to it. So my collard greens haven't been affected much. There is a little bit of damage, and I've been really trying to focus on that with the neem oil and the Epsom salt. And as you can see, I also added some herbs. So I did a little bit of research, and parsley is one of the herbs that kind of helps deter, as well as um, mint and oregano. So I had plenty of oregano over in my herb garden. The plant that I planted last year came back. So the new ones I moved over here. I'm not going to plant them in the ground because they will spread a little more than what I want. But I did move them over here, and I did move my mint plants over here. An interesting thing I found out is that oregano and mint don't like to grow too close together. So I'm making sure that I have them spaced out. But hopefully that'll help with um, the cabbage moths and everything else that's kind of happening in here and kind of deter some of the pests. And so what I do with my Epsom salt is I take a handful and I literally am just throwing it over. I want it to kind of get on there, around it. I noticed that some of my pepper plants were starting to turn yellow. And so to see here where it started to turn yellow. So I've been hitting it as well as all the other ones with the Epsom salt too. So I'm literally just throwing Epsom salt into the garden. Um, just like that. These are the broccoli, and you can see that one in the very back that was really getting eaten up. It's growing new leaves. I'm not seeing any damage on the new leaves. I haven't taken the damaged leaves off just because I think they're okay. And so, yeah, so I don't mind that the salt sits on there because it's getting ready to start back raining again, and that'll just wash that off. So anyway, so yeah, so I've just been coming out here in between rains and sprinkling everything with Epsom salt, including the peppers, just to try to deter as much as possible. And my peppers, as it hasn't been very warm, but they are growing, which is surprising. Um, you can see that my zinnia plants that I planted are growing pretty good. So anyway, so over here in the broccoli, I also added more herbs. So we have mint in the front and oregano in the middle. Those zinnias are coming up really good. This is more mint. This is the orange mint, maybe. And you can see this was the plant that was most damaged. And this is the one I'm having the hardest time with. So I've really been dousing it in neem oil, and when I sprinkle the Epsom salt on it, I go pretty heavy. I mean, just heavy in there. Like I said, I like to come out right before it's gonna rain so the Epsom salt has time to sit and kind of chase the worms away. Um, yeah, so this is what I've been doing, and on top of adding the herbs and the neem oil. So that's been my game plan. Again, I try to remember to get the peppers too. just because we don't want anything moving to those, and we want to keep those nice and green. So over here, I have two really big, um, oh, what are they called? I'm drawing a blank. This plant right here. I have two big ones. Lavender, goodness. Two big lavender plants in the front of my yard. So I cut some of it and stuck it in this pot because lavender also deters bugs. So that's what I have over here for the cabbage. I've not had a big issue. I mean, not cabbage, lettuce. Not had a big issue with the lettuce, but I'm still just doing the same thing for it and the celery. So yeah, the kale in the back. Now that it's getting watered, it's not necessarily from me, but from all the rain, is finally starting to grow and doing really good. Um, the little peppers, like I said, they are actually growing, and it's not even been that warm. Tomato plants that I planted are doing great. My eggplant still has not come up, but I'm hopeful. So my squash, where I just threw seeds in the ground because the ones I did earlier didn't germinate, but the ones in the ground have both germinated and are doing great. Something is coming for my okra plants, so I need to start treating these as well. These first two are really getting ate up by something. So we're gonna add some Epsom salt around those, and I'll come back with the neem oil and hit those. These two are doing pretty good, seeing as how it hasn't warmed up very much. I'm still gonna hit those with a little Epsom salt, just to make sure whatever's eating the first two doesn't move over here. My zucchini that didn't come up when I tried to sow it earlier, I just threw some seeds in the ground and they are coming up great. So I need to do some weeding around that one. But I'm going to go ahead and hit them with a little Epsom salt just as a preventative. And the tomato plants on the big arbors are doing great. I'm going to hit those with some Epsom salt too. So that's pretty much what I've been doing to try to deter the pests as much as possible. It's a constant battle. You have to stay on top of it. But you know, I'm determined that I'm not going to lose my greens to worms. So my bodacious tomato plants, I've been adding Epsom salt to those also, just as a preventative. I don't want anything to come along and start chewing on those. So while I'm out here, I just go ahead and drop a little Epsom salt around those too. I haven't sprayed them with the neem oil, um, but maybe I should do that. But anyway, that's it. That's pretty much what I've been doing for the yard, the garden, to try to keep the pests at bay. So hope that helps. Happy gardening.